some of the most thrilling adventures start like any other day. We never know for sure what will happen to us from moment to moment. Life often rewards us with events that fuel our passion, while other times it presents us with forces we can't control. No matter where you are in the world, some things are universal. After all, we all live under one sky.
Let's give people probably about like 2 or 3 more minutes to kind of show up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Bye, everyone.
Hi.
We first met long before this introduction to each other. Film students from Chicago and Moscow were offered an opportunity to come together to produce a documentary about our two cities. We'd spent months having conversations via Skype to discuss the differences and similarities between our two cities.
I'm ready.
Today, we finally got to meet in person to further develop our vision for the film. Eventually, we all settled on a variety of topics. They're as diverse as each of us. They were chosen for different reasons, but mostly because they appealed to the filmmakers. A dozen of us would have an opportunity to travel to the other student city in the summer and experience a place just a few months before we never expected to visit. Our first day shooting in Moscow, we decided to see the city by bike.
Now we go right. We're gonna go right.
We hired a local tour guide to show us the city and share with us as much about Moscow as we could cover in a day. It's a great way to cover a lot of ground in a short amount of time.
On the right side, you see the tall building. Yeah, this so-called Seven Sisters of Stalin. There are 7 buildings. They all have a lot of towers, and they have spires on them. And you can see the star on top. Yeah.
We decided to explore Chicago on bikes as well. Just like in Moscow, it's easy to get one from a rental or from the bike sharing system.
Chicago is a very bike-friendly city. There's a lot of people who use biking as a way to commute. This trail goes the whole length of the city. It's roughly 20 miles long and winds along the entire lakefront. One thing I like about Chicago is all the public art. It makes the city so much more lively and engaging.
There you go.
You can see lots of street musicians all over the city.
I'm originally from Colombia. I've been here for the last 2 years, and one of the things I love about the city is street musicians. You have so many different styles of music that you get to enjoy while you're walking to school or to work, so it's very unique what you get to see here in the city.
I'm a regular on the beach here. I've been out here for about 47 years. I don't know a person who doesn't like music. We may not agree on the same type of music, but I've never met anyone that rejects music. What I like about street music is sometimes when you're walking past, you may not like it, and then there's times when musician can give a person a mood, even if they're not in a good mood. It's wonderful when we have people out, that are just doing their music and they're into it real deep. It's beautiful, it's wonderful. I should have done a little better, but I haven't played that one for a while, so please forgive me on that one. I owe you one.
Bucket boys are just any of the guys you see playing on buckets. There could be one, there could be 5, there could be 12 of them. They're all bucket boys. Predominantly black guys playing the buckets. A lot of times tourists will look forward to the street music. I think that it really helps the city because people look forward to good music.
We've traveled all over the world and we often see street performers in touristy areas, but it's usually people that are just trying to express themselves and they're trying to earn some money while they're doing it, but mostly I think it's just because it's their passion.
If people will give you money just because they like you, I think that says something about you as a musician, and hopefully as an entertainer.
I think music is feeling. So if I can make people happy, make them smile when they come past, walk past me and listen, that's saying enough for me. That's my music expressing outward to the people. I like to play jazz. I like to play straight ahead jazz. For some reason, it seems to connect more with the people than the other music that I have. But I like to just basically express my music the best way I can. So I like jazz.
I think that it really helps the city because people look forward to good music. They really look forward out here on the street where having something other than sirens and like the noise of traffic really helps you through the day.
Несколько лет назад увидел впервые музыканта в метрополитене лондонском, играющего на стикере, то есть место специально обозначенное под игру. У них уже действовал в тот момент проект Music Underground. Когда я увидел, мне сразу стало внутри как хорошо, музыка играла отлично, стало весело, настроение повысилось. При этом, когда я вернулся в московский метрополитен и увидел одиноко стоящего скрипача, который стоял в каком-то переходе, были двоякие чувства у меня, потому что, с одной стороны, он играл хорошо, но с другой стороны, я видел реакцию пассажиров о том, что он играет нелегально, и многие пассажиры к этому негативно тоже относились. И вот эта смесь негатива и позитива, она, конечно, не радовала. сделав вот проект «Музыка в метро» в Москве, мы полностью убрали негатив. Люди понимают, что если музыкант играет на стикере, специально обозначенном, в специально обозначенное время, то значит, он не нарушает правила, он, наоборот, участвует в проекте «Музыка в метро», он приносит только хорошее настроение.
Мы называемся группа Гуава, мы играем соул, R&B, перемешка с фанком, немножко блюза, и в общей, во всем этом кишмише получаемся мы. В общем, музыка в метро дает возможность общаться с новыми людьми, заводить новые контакты и в дальнейшем выступать, допустим, не только в метро, а еще где-нибудь на свадьбах, корпоративах и так далее. Бывает, просто они прям встанут над душой, вот прям рядышком, и начнут заслонять там все, и это немного некомфортно. А когда они танцуют, ну, напротив, вообще не мешает, пусть танцуют, почему нет.
Люди бегут по своим делам, а здесь музыка, и она все равно создает настроение. Это полезно как со стороны слушателей, так и со стороны молодых музыкантов, для которых это может быть таким, ну, толчком, их здесь видят. Большая проходимость.
Раньше нельзя было играть нелегально, сейчас тоже нелегально играть нельзя. То есть если пройти определенный этап отбора, если соблюдать все правила, то при выданном разрешении на основе конкурсного отбора играть можно.
Хорошо играешь.
Мне очень нравится. Слушала бы часами. Просто времени не так много, но это такой кайф. Иногда смотришь на людей с длинными ногтями и не понимаешь, зачем они им, что с ними не так. А теперь я понимаю, может, это люди просто музыканты.
Я когда с работы иду, сама в метро спускаюсь, и мне очень здорово музыку услышать. Я часто на Комсомольской перехожу, там внизу площадка и наверху площадка. И ты едешь, у тебя сначала одна музыка, ты идешь, потом на эскалаторе едешь, и у тебя начинается другая музыка. Настроение поднимается. Прям здорово. Мы играем в коллективе «Обними кита», нас на самом деле больше, чем сегодня. Вот мы вдвоем играли. Музыка такая довольно добрая, мне кажется. Людям ничего, даже если они не знают песни, но они подходят и слушают. То есть мы поняли, что какой-то большой разницы нет, там свое петь или каверы какие-то. Поэтому мы свое поем.
Мне приятно, что, да, вот на самом деле музыканты могут вот так вот в метро, да, вот свободно встать, поиграть на радость людям, тем более после рабочего дня самое оно.
Мы с музыкантов денег не берем за то, что они стоят, играют. Для них это бесплатно, никакой аренды они не платят. Я надеюсь, что мы в скором времени увидим 30-40 площадок, чтобы больше станций, больше пассажиров могли по дороге на работу или с работы, или просто по делам, слушать хорошую музыку и поднимать себе настроение тем самым.
Do you think in general Moscow is a pretty diverse city, just in terms of the kinds of people that are here and sort of the culture?
Now, yes. Before it was not too much diverse, but now it's normal. You can see people from all over the country. They say generally Moscow is. You can see even by cuisine. If you want to try different type of food, there's all kind of food: American, Canadian, anything. Yeah. Ukrainian, all types of food, which means there's people from all over the world here.
In my piece, it takes a look kind of at the coffee culture of Chicago. A lot of people in Chicago, I would say, are obsessed with coffee. Some people need it to function. Is that similar to how people in Russia think of coffee?
When we need to talk with friends, we go in a coffee shop and drink, and we do like coffee and drink these all days. But more prefer local coffee shops like this because it's more comfortable for us.
Some of the most interesting and fascinating people that I ever know live in neighborhoods like Inglewood. I always like to say that heroes need a battle to fight. In this neighborhood, there's absolute heroes. But I want to lock arms with people that are doing the real stuff. All right, there you go.
All right, we want to take care of it.
See you, Glenn.
See you another day.
I've always loved coffee. I love what it does. For some reason in America, coffee is a beverage that we choose to gather over. Like we choose to gather over a beer, we choose to gather over coffee. Nobody goes, hey, let's go get an orange juice together. Coffee in this culture is something that we commune over. We need this buffer activity. We can't just go, I want to go sit in a random room and I want to talk to you. That sounds weird. But if I say I want to go have a coffee with you, then people completely understand. We wanted to create a place that everybody could gather together. And coffee's a great thing like that. Our major encompassing goal is we want Inglewood to be able to come and empower itself here. Inglewood is over 96% African American here. We are super segregated, so we're pretty monolithic when it comes to race in the neighborhood. It's not racially diverse at all, but if you look at the economic and the educational backgrounds of people, it is more diverse, I think, probably than almost any neighborhood in Chicago.
We get a bad rep because people think, oh, somebody's getting killed in Inglewood all the time. Somebody's getting shot at in Inglewood all the time, but nobody's showing. They have a parade, they're doing things for back to school. Some people are giving back. When you're driving past, you see this big open space, and for our neighborhood to have the name that it has, you thinking, oh man, that's a target for somebody to just chuck a piece of glass, and then I come in the next morning and I have no job because someone decided they wanted to take things out. When I first start working here, I go, okay, so we're closing now, where's the gates?
If you walk into a place and they treat you as if they're guarding themselves from you at every turn, you have to absorb that. We want to create a place that treats people with respect and welcomes people in and doesn't create a defensive posture automatically.
It's great. It's a good idea. Risky idea, but a good one. It lets people know that we trust them.
How are you this morning?
I'm okay. Wondering where everybody is. I love Phil's idea of having something in the community that you could come, sit, gather, and not have an issue. Like nobody would expect to see this here. And for us to be here for almost 4 years, that means something in this community. It means something to have something in the neighborhood that you would typically see up north.
I worked at a few coffee shops, and I got to see the interactions and the kind of social hub or that third place in the neighborhood that was really important. If we priced it just as a normal middle-class coffee shop, then what we would get is just middle-class people. And that's not what we want. That would destroy our whole mission immediately. So we have to work a lot harder to break even than a lot of other places. And that's probably partially where the nonprofit comes in. We're not here to make money, but we want to be a self-sustaining place, but price is a really important part.
We have had people that come from up north and they stop in here and they say, hey, I'm glad this place is here. I like this. This is nice. This is something I usually typically would see up north. I'm glad to see this out south. I'm glad to see it sticking out.
Nice. There you go. Well, we really like to see you back.
Do people think that coffee from the smaller coffee houses tastes better?
When you go to a coffee shop, you go not to only drink coffee. You go looking for a public space where you can do your thing.
Меня зовут Миронов Алексей, я один из владельцев Jeffries Coffee. 5 лет назад я случайным образом попал в одно из антикафе, которые тогда расцветали по Москве. То есть антикафе – это место, где ты платишь за время, получаешь там чаи, печеньки и все остальное. Мне понравилась идея тем, что это свободное пространство, удобно для того, чтобы прийти там студентам, потусоваться, поиграть в игры, поработать в конце концов. Но мне не понравилась реализация, то, как это все было сделано. Открыли площадку, накидали туда каких-то пуфиков, поставили пакетированный чай и все, платите нам за время.
Привет.
Привет, Леша.
Как у вас дела?
Отлично, у тебя?
Тоже хорошо.
Хорошо?
С помолом все нормально?
Все в порядке. На самом деле это чисто российская инновация, разработка антикафе. То есть в мире практически такого нигде нет. Это все-таки такой микс обычной кофейни и коворкинга. Но в чистом виде коворкинга это прежде всего просто офис. То есть там нету большинства тех услуг, которые мы предлагаем. Там нету игр, туда не придешь просто компанией погудеть, поболтать, рассказать, что туда не придешь, отпраздновать день рождения. У нас же все это можно делать, и при этом люди друг другу не мешают. Если утром у нас аудитория в основном сидит за ноутбуками, работает, занимается там какой-то деятельностью, там работают дизайнеры, там архитекторы, программисты сидят и так далее, то после обеда публика немного меняется, приходят студенты, приходит молодежь, они играют в настольные игры, просто болтают, пьют кофе.
Началось с того, что я начал устраивать здесь свои студенческие вечеринки. Я привез практически под 80 человек, начал со всеми хорошо общаться, меня все начали узнавать, и так и стал постоянником. Моя такая история небольшая. Я могу прийти, но мне не будет чувства одиночества, потому что всегда есть люди в этом месте, с которыми я знаком, с которыми я могу пообщаться, с которыми я могу, выйти и о чем-то поговорить. Пошутить, посмотреть сериальчик, просто куда-то выйти погулять. Это самый большой плюс для меня. Нет чувства одиночества, даже если не общаешься, не твои лучшие друзья, все равно можно поговорить.
Well, this one specifically, I guess, is classified as kind of an anti-cafe. So it's a nice place to work and, kind of like a lot of people just, I guess, around they're playing games or they're having conversations or they're working on projects together. So it seems like it's a very nice, collaborative space where it's not just a cafe. It's not a restaurant, there's not this one thing that people are doing, so it's kind of multifaceted into what people are into.
Кто-то приходит сюда за хорошим кофе, и он за этим разбирается, и он прям привержен культуре кофе. Кто-то приходит сюда, потому что это удобное пространство для него. Есть люди, которые не любят кофе, и их процентов 15-20, даже я бы сказал, которые приходят сюда и не заказывают вообще, либо заказывают какао, чай или что-то еще. Так что сложно сказать, что это прямо кофейные фанаты. Мы не просто кофейня, мы нечто большее. Да?
Chicago is a very dog-friendly city. All the textbook definitions of why you have a dog. You know, unconditional love, always there for you, never talking back, just happy, and enhances your life in so many ways.
Most people here think of dogs as like their family.
Well, in Russia, if you got a dog, of course you think that is, I mean, it's part of your family. If you got a dog, if you don't have experience, and you can understand that.
Some people don't realize that they have a soul, and I think they do.
People should know about it to start thinking about it and make something for change that situation.
Why is it important to have a shelter? Because where would all these animals go if there wasn't a shelter? I mean, I've heard horror stories of people saying, oh, we're moving, we can't keep our pet. Or they take it and they take it to the woods and they let it go. Now there are places like these shelters where people can bring their pets if they can't keep them anymore, and then we can get them rehomed, and that's huge. That's huge.
There's a dog in here right now. She's behind the desk. She was used as a puppy mill dog, and I believe they were always taking her puppies from her too soon, and she has emotional issues now. The people here recognize that, and they give her stuffed animals that she can nurse them.
We don't know if the family survived the house fire, but the cat's paws were burned, the whiskers were singed off. The poor thing was just screaming for attention. She just wanted to sit in somebody's lap. Thankfully, we were able to comfort her while she was here. She didn't stay long. She was adopted rather quickly.
We had Sinbad, and Sinbad was a superstar. Had come to the shelter all mangled up, and actually one of the staff members here ended up adopting Sinbad.
We've adopted from Anti-Cruelty twice before. This is our third dog from here. We're thrilled to be able to do this again. Owning a pet is just having another member of the family, and also you feel like you're saving a life when you come to Anti-Cruelty, and that really has special meaning.
The main goal is for all of these animals to find their forever homes.
Americans do love their animals, everyone that I've met, and we've had animals from shelters my entire life, and that's a long time.
I love coming to the shelter when all of the cages are empty. That means everyone's found their forever home.
No animal gets left behind for any reason. Pretty much every animal has a chance here.
Is this like shelters in Russia?
No, it doesn't.
What's different?
Well, in Russia we have 500 in one shelter. Now our shelters are outside.
We got volunteers. We got an idea for adopting dogs from the shelters, and that's cool.
В Москве, к сожалению, проблема бездомных животных стоит достаточно остро. До сих пор на улицах можно встретить стаи бездомных животных, приюты переполнены. В нашем приюте всего 600 собак. 600 – это большая цифра, но мы считаемся маленьким. Обычно в приютах 1000-2 собак. приюте, конечно, грустно, не хватает внимания. Любая помощь на вес золота. Собакам необходимо внимание, необходима любовь, забота. Они целыми днями сидят за решетками и ждут каждого человека. Собаки болеют. В приюте, в принципе, условия не идеальные. Сейчас лето такое холодное, что болезнь, к сожалению, только прогрессирует. Мы лечим собак. Когда какие-то серьезные заболевания, мы увозим к узким специалистам, рассказываем, показываем. Мы спасли больше 100 собак. Пристройство – это самая главная цель любого волонтера. Найти дом – это наша главная задача. Это, конечно, очень сложно. У многих есть впечатление и стереотипное мнение, к сожалению, что если собака с улицы, из приюта, дворняжка, то она некрасивая, страшная, что соседи будут косо смотреть, и они не готовы принять друга. Они ищут породу. Я лично считаю, что у каждой собаки есть шанс. У каждой есть свой человек, просто некоторые встречаются, некоторые не встречаются. Это как повезет. В приюте я уже 5 лет. И я часто слышу от своих друзей, коллег: Лена, ну столько ты сил тратишь, времени, денег, это же всего лишь собака. Да, и это, к сожалению, практически на каждом шагу. У нас общество не готово принять, что собака, кошка – это такой же полноправный член общества, что он имеет право на жизнь, что он имеет право на счастье, на дом, что ему тоже плохо, он тоже чувствует. В прямом смысле слова собака рыдает, когда ее оставляют одну за решеткой. Чем можно помочь в приюте? Можно приехать и просто погулять. В любой выходной день взять собаку на прогулку. Для них это огромная помощь. Люди, которые приезжают в первый раз в приют, они совершенно разные. Кто-то боится и ведет себя робко, кто-то брезгует, потому что запах, грязь. Но в любом случае у всех эмоций, когда им дают собаку на прогулку, во-первых, все с любопытством ждут, кого же ему дадут. И после они говорят: это здорово, мы получили намного больше, чем вот мы сами отдали, потому что собаки, они заряжают колоссальной энергией.
Ах ты мой хороший малыш, ой, скажи, я красивый мальчик.
Да, у собаки не совсем простая жизнь, но это такая же собака. Она красивая по-своему, такой другой больше нету. И она также имеет право на счастье, и она сможет стать семейной.
As we ride through the city, I can't help but notice the great atmosphere with the little shopkeepers and businesses and everything that's going on here in the city. It's really cool.
I mean, it just seems like there's always something interesting
Moscow
going
is fun.
on.
That's I can tell you for sure. Moscow is fun city.
I mean, there's so much to do. There's so much to see.
Yeah.
What does Svelka mean? Do you guys know the
It means like
translation?
translation?
Yeah.
Yes, in the original it means like wasteland.
This place is very popular in Moscow, and there are a lot of different people. You can buy something what you need or what you don't need. I buy there what I don't need. And you can find there some strange, some old things.
Do you think it helps the community?
I think they do, just because Svalka is not a simple shop. You can find the new connections here.
Мы с женой переезжали, и у нас, мы упаковали с собой то, что заберем с собой, осталась гора всего. Там были велосипеды, гитары, одежда, какие-то финтифлюшки и так далее. Ну, то есть все, что вы можете себе представить. И мы такие: блин, сейчас каждую эту штуку отдельно фотографировать, выкладывать в интернет, там, торговаться, рассказывать, как к нам приехать и так далее, застрелиться. И я так на эту кучу грустно смотрел, думал: блин, был бы человек, который приехал бы, ну, скажем, 1000 за 10 бы эту кучу забрал, я бы его как родного обнял, вот. Такого человека не было, поэтому нам пришлось как бы фотографировать, вывешивать в интернет, торговаться и так дальше. И я такой думаю, так, либо это какой-то бизнес, либо я что-то не так понял. Проект «Свалка» занимается тем, что он вывозит у людей ненужные им вещи. Мы платим небольшое вознаграждение за то, что люди отдают нам вещи. Дальше мы вещи сортируем, продаем, и 70% от чистой прибыли отдаем на благотворительность от имени тех людей, у которых забрали вещи. Покупают у нас 3 основные такие категории. Люди, которым, правда, нужна недорогая одежда, обувь и посуда и так далее. Это люди, которые сюда приходят не столько за вещами, сколько за впечатлениями. То есть это просто кайф порыться, откопать что-то. И 3-я большая категория – это люди, которые на этом зарабатывают. То есть это коллекционеры, антиквары, букинисты и так далее. Он с нами с самого первого дня. Маленький робот Валли. Его пытались купить я не знаю сколько раз. Его пытались украсть. С ним что только не происходило. Это единственная вещь, которая на свалке не продается.
Иногда не знаешь, что можно найти. Можно найти деньги в книгах, можно... Не знаю, я постоянно технику нахожу, но я съемками занимаюсь, объективы нахожу. И это очень приятно покупать там за 500 рублей то, что в магазине стоит там 5. Ты такой думаешь, о, я заплатил деньги, еще они пойдут на благо. Это классно.
I'm from Norway. West coast of Norway, so this is probably the biggest city I've ever been to. We were just meeting some friends and we were going to meet them under the bridge, and then we saw this place just opening up and it looked really amazing and found some cool stuff. It's really amazing. It's good music, it has clothes, and I'm really into like nitpicking, like small stuff, so I'm pretty happy to be here.
Такой портал, мне кажется, своего рода, где соединяется миллиард, секстиллиард разных совершенно каких-то жизней в виде вещей, потому что через нас проходит какое-то колоссальное количество вещей, и все эти вещи, они такие артефакты чьих-то жизней. Пользуясь вещью, которая уже была в употреблении, человек становится маленьким заводом по переработке этой вещи в каком-то смысле. То есть эта вещь, во-первых, не выкинута на свалку, на настоящую, на мусорку, где она гниет и разлагается, и портит атмосферу, там, и все вот это вот. А вторая штука в том, что эта вещь просто продолжает служить.
Свалка нелогичная, она дурацкая. И она очень крутая. Я думаю, что свалка в какой-то момент двинется в сторону такой платформы разумного потребления.
Do you think that Svelka helps people? Do you think it helps the community?
I think they do, just because
Not all of their money around
70% of money that they have
go to the charity.
Yes.
Oh. Okay. That's cool. I didn't realize that.
In Chicago, do you have many places like Svelka or just only this one?
There's a lot of places like Svelka in Chicago that do charity work, but one that is really unique is called Dress for Success. They provide business attire to women and help them re-enter the workforce. It's a really great organization that's helping a lot of people and changing their lives for the better.
Some people can put on a pair of jeans and feel like $1 million. Other people, they need to put something that's tailored and structured for them. We are Dress for Success, so we do suiting. Geographically, we set ourselves very close to public transportation. We are right near State and Lake. So we really poised ourselves to be accessible to women to come to us.
I was laid off about a year ago. And I'm thinking, okay, it would be easy for me to find a job because I do have experience, 25 years. I have a master's, nonprofit management. Well, it was a little difficult. I filled out 10 applications and I maybe only got 2 calls. I really didn't have interview attire.
A great pair of brown ones.
You know, I would go on these interviews and I would not do well because I didn't feel well. Let's see. I was working with it was actually with the unemployment office, and they referred me to Dress for Success.
I mean, people sometimes are back here that were high-level executives at one time. And we have people that have never had a job in their life. So you have to kind of take them where they're at. It's a cross-section, so you can't treat them all the same. Okay, of course you'd want to tuck it in.
So I came down thinking I was going to just look on the rack and pick out a couple outfits, but that wasn't the case. I actually had a personal shopper. She sat me down and asked me a lot of questions about what I liked and what I disliked.
We really try to give the client what they want. You know, what colors do you like? What patterns do you like? Are you a dress woman? Are you a pants woman? And I think just taking into consideration what they want goes the extra mile for them.
Well, I think that's cute. What do you think?
Yeah, I like the details.
Yeah.
That's what really makes the jacket.
Yeah.
She actually went back and bought me some terrific outfits, clothes that I didn't even know that I liked. Not only did I get like a terrific outfit, but I got jewelry, I got makeup, I got shoes, I got the whole outfit.
And it could work with this if we brought a scarf or something in with it.
Okay. Okay.
It's really interesting to look at the women that come in here when they first walk in the door. By the time they leave, their posture, their attitude, they're like you've taken a magic wand and going, you're a princess now. And they just leave here feeling fabulous.
Excuse me, I like it. I like.
We've seen everything, every size, background, nationality, experience level.
I was in the midst of applying to graduate school, and in the process I discovered a program that I really liked at Cambridge. But the program was so incredibly expensive, so I went looking for scholarships. In that process, I found the Gates Cambridge Scholarship, which is funded by the Bill Gates Foundation. The problem, however, is that because it's such a competitive scholarship, I was going to have several rounds of interviews and not need a suit. So I'd never actually had a suit, and I didn't really know much about how you need to fit for your suit or what it needs to look like or anything of the sort.
And I don't know if purple would be her thing, but...
I went looking for a foundation that could help me to get a suit. And actually most of them turned me down because I wasn't applying for a job. I called Dress for Success Chicago, and then Dawn called me. So I told her a little bit about what I was doing as far as the fellowship, and she told me to come right on in. And so that's what I'm doing here.
Those on just for kicks to see.
Okay. Now I've actually gotten the scholarship. I interviewed a couple of months ago in a beautiful suit that made me feel really confident. Got the scholarship, and so now I'm getting together a bit of a wardrobe for all of the things that I'm going to need to do when I'm at Cambridge. Oh, this is comfortable.
They are?
Yes. When I was growing up, both of my parents were drug addicts, and so I've been in a lot of charity-oriented situations where you come in and you're kind of going to get something for free. Usually the quality is incredibly below par. Usually folks are just giving you something whether you like it or not. So I was a bit nervous to come in initially. Oh, I love that. This length is, yeah, I like the length. Everyone in the building, I felt like they were interested in what was happening with me. I felt like my personal story, my personal narrative was part of my fitting, right? It was part of that connection. I felt like people wanted to get to know me and wanted to get to know what I was doing with this outfit.
Letting women know you care about the process, you care about them getting the job, you care about them having that firm handshake, you care about them being powerful when they walk in the room. It's just making each appointment very personal, and that you're showing the client that you have a love in your heart and that you care.
And I think you are probably used to clothes.
Yes. I also felt like I was given the esteem that I need to wear the suit and not to be worn by the suit. I felt like I was getting an experience that gave me that.
See?
Yes.
Now
yes.
you want to put together.
Now I feel, yes.
I guess I would say it's confidence building for me as well.
Yeah.
I like how I feel when I leave here.
It's more than folks just pulling something off of a rack for you. It's also kind of a teaching that's happening, right? I think a lot of people would expect that their mother would be the person who would help them figure out, what suits to wear and, this is how you wear this. That's kind of something that you do with a parent. I have found that support at Dress for Success.
I would venture to go with a stocking with this, only because you are showing so much leg with this one.
So in a lot of ways, this space is not just about clothes for me. It's about having a space to kind of mature the whole person. Yeah, I definitely agree. I love it.
Yay!
Great.
The fun thing is when they leave and they want to hug you.
I'm so happy. Thank you.
That's the kind of feeling they have. They feel that close to a total stranger who you've seen for maybe an hour, and they leave here feeling like you've changed my life. It's like, well, you've made my day. So it's a win-win.
No trip to Moscow is complete without a visit to Red Square.
And on the right you can see Mausoleum.
As we would later find out, bicycles are not allowed there. Moscow is full of open space and parks throughout the city.
We are now in Gorky Park. That's the most famous park in Moscow and probably the most famous park in Russia.
It was in one of these parks we got to meet and experience one of Russia's most revered groups of people, babushkas.
In a big city like Moscow, there are many places where elderly people can make friends, learn new things and have fun.
На протяжении всей своей жизни я всегда любила петь, танцевать, всегда была каким-то двигателем, что называется, для своего окружения, всегда была центром. Единственное, что когда, конечно, я много работала, у меня времени было совсем мало, и это как-то все оставлялось на потом. А когда я ушла с работы, так сказать, у меня появилась масса свободного времени. Сразу же, чем я занялась, это куда влиться, найти то любимое занятие, которым я хотела бы заниматься. И я его нашла. Я пришла сюда, в Трубниковский переулок, где Центр социальной защиты населения. Целый день я, можно сказать, провожу здесь, и причем провожу с удовольствием. Кто чем хочет, тот и занимается. Кому больше по душе. Мне больше по душе. Не компьютеры, а мне больше по душе. Танцы и вокал. Я очень люблю ходить на танцевальные площадки в парках. В Измайлово. А вот недавно ходила в парк Сокольники. Я вспомнила молодость, зрелость И вообще, я помолодела лет на 20, если не больше. Я понимаю, что есть люди, которые пустили все на самотек. Лучше я вот посижу один, телевизор посмотрю, полежу, подремлю, по телефону пообщаюсь. Им достаточно, им больше ничего не надо. Я говорю, все зависит от себя самого. Есть у тебя желание, значит, ты будешь их реализовывать. Нет у тебя желания, никто тебе не придет, так сказать, на помощь. Так что все прекрасно и удивительно в нашем мире. Жизнь не заканчивается, еще много радости, еще много жизненной энергии, которую хочется реализовать. И, так сказать, жить в свое удовольствие.
We spent hours filming here, and at some point, without even realizing it, we found ourselves being more than casual observers. Normally, this isn't something a documentary filmmaker would do, but this project was also about having a cultural exchange, so how could we resist?
No name, no number. Your love is like a thunder. I'm dancing on the fire, burning in my heart. No face, no name, no number. Oh girl, I'm not a hunter. Your love is like desire, burning in my soul. No face, no name, no number. Our love is like a thunder. Our love is like a thunder. It's hard to find. No face, no name, no number. Oh girl, I'm not a hunter. Your love is like a river.
Если я неровно поднимаю камеру, замедлить можно, это не будет сильно. feels like a sea, but not salty. No words to explain what we feel now. It's something like really unbelievable thing to swim near skyscrapers in the clear, still water.
You can't do it in Moscow because the water is not so clear and the weather is usually cold.
Unbelievable, really unbelievable.